Yeah.
Wife, there's a problem with the car. It is water in the carburetor. Husband, water in the carburetor, that's ridiculous. Wife, I tell you, the car has water in the carburetor. Husband, you don't even know what a carburetor is. I'll check it out. Where's the car? Wife, it's in the swimming pool. All right.
There's water in a few other places.
Okay, we're going to spend some time on maps and some tips today.
Mhm.
Maps is a real fun app, and I'll talk about several different kinds of apps that I've used for maps. So I'm going to switch. I'm going to mute everybody.
You gonna record, Bill?
I'm recording.
Attaboy.
I got the joke in that time. Okay. I'm going to switch screens here. And hopefully you're looking at the right screen. Is that correct? You looking at my two screens?
Yes.
Okay. One of the key things that whenever you're using a map, some people call it the GPS, whenever you're using a maps application, you have to make sure that application has access to your location. So as I do with many apps we talk about, let's go to settings. So if I go to settings and we scroll down to privacy. And first of all, we make sure location services is turned on so that your phone knows where it is. And then I don't know if Apple Maps has, let's see if it does. Yes. See where it says maps here? And I have it on while using the application.
Mine doesn't have maps.
You could have deleted it, so you might want to go get it again. From the App
It's
Store.
using them without doing anything different.
It should be in the list there.
Mine doesn't have
I
it
don't
either.
have it either, Bill.
Okay, go to the App Store. Do you use Google Maps or some other maps or Waze?
Basically, when I put an address in the phone contact, a little map shows up, and that's what I use.
That shows you where it is. That doesn't allow it to know where you are.
Oh,
Because when you have an app, you usually want to go from where you are to where the other location is.
when I activate it, that's what it does.
Okay, and you don't have maps listed in the, now you did go to privacy, right? And you did click on location services.
I have location services on and.
No, I said click on location services.
Thank you.
And then go down the list there of applications that have access to where you are.
And it says maps while using.
There you go.
Thank you very much. You're leading the group.
And you should have one, I have one for Google Maps. Then if I scroll clear to the bottom here, I think I have one for Waze. And that's the three we're going to talk about today. Okay?
It doesn't say, does it have to say Google Maps to do it?
No, no. I just have all three of those applications on my computer, on my iPhone and iPad.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So Peter, when you clicked on location services, hopefully you found Apple Maps, did you?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And I just want to scroll down to see if there's any special thing in Maps. Okay. And it has location while using. I can use Siri with it. I want driving directions when traveling. You could click transit or cycling if you're in a city and don't have your vehicle. I want my distance in miles. Get the weather conditions. I like mine in English. Have photos that I might have show up in Maps. Ooh, restaurant bookings. We'll get to that a little later. Okay.
Bill, can you do this on the phone or is this just?
Yes, this is the same on both the iPhone and the iPad.
Well, I don't see all these things on the phone.
Did you leave location services and go back to your settings and find maps there?
Yes, I went back to
You did.
settings itself.
The
And
neat ones, they show parks location. I've used that a few times.
yeah. I want spoken directions. Make sure you turn that on. On your iPhone.
What, turning on what and where?
On your iPhones, there's one for spoken directions.
And where is that?
I'm in settings and then maps.
So am I, and I don't get any of that.
I don't have
get
that either.
Okay, are we in settings, everybody? It says settings at the top of my iPhone, right? This is my iPhone now.
I have the same problem. It's missing on my phone.
And then I come down to maps. We click on maps.
Wait a minute, okay, maps.
So now I'm in the settings application, looking at the maps settings that I can change. And I can scroll down through those. I like to turn on share ETA for estimated time of arrival. Wow, there's a couple here I didn't know. I have Uber on my device, so ride booking and restaurant booking, right? I have Yelp. And a really important one, I think, there is show parked car location.
Wait, where is that?
It's toward the bottom of the list.
Oh, yeah.
And how many of you have your devices hooked to your car's Bluetooth system?
How do you do that?
I do.
Most of us do. When you get in your car, if you're doing, can you make a phone call on your car's system? It has to be connected through Bluetooth or CarPlay stereo. Depending on the age of your car, you could have none of these, or you could have Bluetooth, or you could have CarPlay capability. And the way you do it is dependent on the car you have.
Hey,
And
Bill,
yep,
I'd like to ask a question. I have this enabled on mine, and when I get into my car, even though my music is not playing on the iPhone, when I get in the car and start it up, it starts to playing the music from my iPhone through the car system automatically. Why
okay,
is that?
because you have CarPlay set up. And the last time you used it, you probably had that going. And so they just repeat, they just do whatever was,
Oh, okay. Mhm. Thank you.
Would that be true if you were talking on the phone? When you got into your car and turned it on?
yeah, it switches. It switches to the car system.
But you do have to have Bluetooth, right?
At least Bluetooth, yes.
But
I don't, so
doesn't
I can't.
everybody have Bluetooth on their car?
Pardon me? Yeah.
No, I don't. I have an old car.
Nope.
Bill, how did you get Uber to show up in the settings here on your maps? I have the Uber app on my phone, but it doesn't show up here in settings under maps. Was that a difficult question?
I'm thinking,
Okay, okay.
if I go back to settings and go back to privacy,
Okay,
and I scroll down on, I go to location services. And I scroll down, hopefully Uber's there somewhere. There's Uber. And is Uber,
right there, okay.
is Uber turned on?
Are you asking me on my phone?
Yeah,
Okay,
mine says while using.
let me go see. I'm in settings.
Privacy,
See,
location services.
location services is on.
Good. And but
Okay,
no, click on where it says on. And you'll
Yes.
get below just being on, you'll get the applications that are would like to attach to or make contact with your location.
okay.
Is Uber in that list?
Yeah, way down there while using.
And it says while using?
Yes,
Oh,
is that the way we want it?
yep, that's the way you want it.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right,
Then I went back to maps.
back to maps. Back in settings in general.
Right.
Okay, still looking. Maps, right here, okay,
And you scroll to the bottom there.
very bottom, okay.
Does it say extensions? Well-
Extensions, ride booking and restaurant booking.
Yeah, ride booking, click that.
There it is.
I'll be darned.
Turn it on. I have
Yep,
to turn it on though, right? Okay. Okay, got it. All right, thank you very much.
very good. I like the one show parked car. because, you know,
Yes.
we're getting older now. We park in all these parking lots.
Okay, so I often go out to see my sister in Colorado and hike in Rocky Mountain National Park.
Yeah,
Where there are some Wi-Fi at certain elevations, but there are no cell towers.
okay.
So your advice to indicate to the rescue people where I am would be what?
Wow.
That's a tough one, yeah. The local county authorities will not allow cell phones because they're not, cell phone towers because they're not pretty.
If your cell phone knows where it is, in other words, it could make connection. It can broadcast when are you able to make a phone call?
Depends on where I am.
Okay, if you can make a phone call, your phone probably knows where it is and can, if you dial 911,
Okay,
it would automatically make that location available.
all right, thank you.
Mhm. But you have to be, you near the tower somewhere to be able to do that. In other
Well,
words,
there are towers in Estes Park, but not in the park, of course,
yeah,
and not in the more rural areas.
that's it.
Well, Bill, this is Joan. If I live in rural Maine part of the year, and before we had a recently added cell tower, my T-Mobile connection could make a call over Wi-Fi from my iPhone.
Understand that.
Not always. a
But
good
if you're not,
connection, but I think that's what you're saying.
if you're not near a Wi-Fi,
Which would also be my case.
She doesn't have any Wi-Fi.
Not in the park, I wouldn't.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
if you're in a home or something that has Wi-Fi,
yeah.
it's most of the time can figure out where it is. And
Right.
then it will have the location. Okay,
I didn't hear her say that there was no Wi-Fi, sorry.
Yep.
There's Wi-Fi in my sister's home, but in the park, there's none.
Right.
okay. That was settings. Let's everybody head back to our home screens. And I'm going to open up my Maps application.
Bill, excuse me just a minute. There's something chat for you.
Say again.
There's a message in chat for you from a new member
Okay,
who's here.
Oh,
okay.
I was just trying to introduce myself and say something about myself. I don't need to interrupt the meeting, but
No,
thank you
no,
for-
that sounds like a good idea.
okay.
Hold on, let me pull up the right thing here. I gotta get to chat. So Kathleen,
Yes,
Steed, how are you? Welcome to Stug.
thank you. I joined on Thursday and you responded on Friday with the link. So here I am, and Saturday is a great time for me because there aren't much of anything else online. So I'm happy to be here, and I had to learn things, even though we live in different circumstances, meaning no car or those kinds of things.
Yeah. Where do you live? Where do you live now?
I live in Manhattan,
Okay,
New York.
and that's where you are right now?
Yes, yes.
Oh
Yeah.
my heavens. Oh, how are things in New York?
Yeah, the usual, quiet except for wild things that happen on city streets.
Okay. Well, if you have any questions, be sure to ask. You can see the format we run under here.
Mhm.
It's-
Thank you so
It's very informal.
Thank you so much. As I said, I was when I learned about the Apple, I thought, oh yes, because I've had it my Mac for 6 months now, and It seems
Yeah.
like every day I tear my hair out because I can't find something or something goes wrong or I get stuck or whatever. So,
You know, the class is not about the Mac. It's about the iPhone and iPad.
that's fine.
Okay.
It all sort of relates together, I'm sure.
A lot of it does, yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, thank you so much for the welcome, and I look forward to, my iPhone has been a couple of years, but I'm still can't operate it, so here we go.
Good, good. Okay. I brought up the iPhone and the iPad here.
Where are you on them, on those? What application?
Oh, Apple Maps. Just the one called Maps. It's the one that looks like someone that looks like this.
Is that the one you find when you go to settings?
Yeah, that's the same one, right? And I've got it in satellite mode, which is interesting. So there's my iPhone, right? And that's where I am right now. Okay, here's the street right outside my home. It's a little bit different view on the iPad screen.
If you go through settings, you don't get that picture. You actually have to go to the application on your screen.
Correct.
Thank you. Now I know where I
And let's talk first of all about some things that are going on here. I click on the car on the iPad, iPhone, I mean. It could look like this. There's an arrow there. You see the arrow at the top right? And it's on both devices. And if you click it, click the little arrow, it rotates and sets it up so you're looking north. If the arrow is pointing up, or it shows kind of the direction you're facing with the map being north. So one is I'm facing north, and it orientates the map so that the map's at the top of the map, it's where I'm facing. Or it orients the map to the north and just shows you which direction you're going.
Why do you have 2D and W underneath?
Don't worry about that yet.
Well, I only worry because I don't have it.
That's all right. All right.
I had a question. When you drill down to where you are, how do you get the picture to change? For instance, I'm looking up a street and I want to look on the flat on the side of the street.
Okay. Now you're talking about Google Maps.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
thought, okay, all right. I thought I was in Apple Maps because I pushed Apple Maps, so I don't know.
Well, no, you're supposed to be looking at Apple Maps. In order to get street level view, I think that is only a Google Maps feature.
Oh, okay.
It's called street level view. But let's not get to there yet.
Okay. I didn't know that, but thank you.
Understand? Now, above up here, see the little vertical lines above the, if you click that, you can have different views.
Mine is the little car.
I know, if you put it in driving mode, it's a little car up there.
What's the difference than what you had and what driving mode is? And how do you get to driving mode? Or
I
how-
know, I just switched them both to driving. So now I've got driving mode.
Are you using, when you say you switch to driving, are you using one of the little squares at the bottom that says choose map?
No,
Explore?
no, I'm still clicked just that icon above the arrow. That's all I'm doing right now. I can tap satellite view. And if you tap satellite view, you can zero in pretty well right down to my house with a car parked outside. And that isn't my house. That's next door neighbors. My house is this one. Okay,
But some of those are below the picture. Mine is.
I'm not sure what you mean by below the picture.
The 4 squares that says choose map, explore, driving, and transit, satellite.
Okay.
They are below the
It's
map
okay. It's
where I
okay.
am.
It's below there too, in my iPhone. And these are just different ways you can view. If you're going to be using this to get directions, you want to be in driving mode versus satellite mode.
How often do they update the photographs?
Oh, in other words, if you have your car parked outside right now, we'll see it.
No, I have a big boat parked behind my house and it's not there and hasn't been for 3 years.
Would you believe 3 years? They vary. The age varies depending on when the satellite flies over and they take the picture and they integrate it with the rest of the maps they have. So they could be as old as 3 or 4 or 5 years and as young as 1 year, depending on where you're looking. And there could be one segment could be a year old and the next segment street down could be 3 years old. I live near Honore Extension and it took a long time for them to finally have it. The Southern Honore Extension. And I was on it. I was getting directions and so I was on the extension and it wasn't on the map. And it kept telling me to turn around. Thought I was in the middle of a field.
That would be good to know if you were not driving in a familiar territory.
Right. Most roads are not that new, so it's not a problem, but okay. Now on my iPhone, it says 2D, so I get a 2-dimensional view. So you just click those and see what they do. When you're using them. So it's just, those are the controls. If you don't like what you're seeing, you just change it. Driving mode is what most of us use. And the easiest thing to do is say, search on map. So if you want to go somewhere, I'm just going to click there and I'm going to say, I don't know if this will work, but I'm going to try baseball park. Yeah, baseball fields nearby. I tap it. And it shows me all the baseball fields. Wow. So if I click on one of them, that's the one I want to go to, and it says it's going to take me 13 minutes to get there.
I'm assuming you could do this for restaurants.
We'll get to that in a minute, but yes.
Did they name the Tommy John one for the surgery?
That's the baseball field I'm going to. Okay, now, if I click the X, it takes me back to here. And if I type in pizza, P-I-Z-Z-A, oops, I got it. Pizza nearby, but they have a bunch of them listed there. I could just, I want to go to the Oak and Stone, Pizza Hut, winemaking pantry, Papa John's. If I tap on any one of those, I'll get directions to get there. If I have an address I want to go to, 531. Well, this is going to be cool. I'm going to enter my address of my old 531 Main Street. Berlin, PA. There's where it is. And it's going to take me 15 hours and 50 minutes to drive it. And if I tap the screen where it says 15 hours and 50 minutes, and I say go, I'm going to get directions on how to get there.
May I suggest that the timing isn't always correct?
You can suggest that, and it could be. Traffic conditions, et cetera, could apply. Did you have some experience at that, Ann?
No, I was just, you know where I live, and I was checking Walt's Fish Market, which is around the corner. And it says it will take me 18 minutes to get there. It's about 2 minutes away.
Whoa. So you're speeding, huh? You don't stop at the stop sign. I'm
There aren't any.
kidding. Yes, there are. I know there are. There's even a couple of lights.
I was in a complex, which I did not realize was all connected. And
Yeah.
I was at one house, it put in the next direction I needed to be at a building that I wasn't sure what it was. And they gave me walking directions. That's how close it was. Just to say I didn't use.
Well, you see what's down here? Where I'm pointing right now on my iPhone. If I want walking directions to get there, to my home in Pennsylvania, I tap it. I guess it's not going to give me walking directions. It's not available to get to Pennsylvania. And then if you click go, I'll click go.
Starting route to US Post Office.
That's a US Post Office.
Head northwest on Buckingham Street, then turn right onto Northridge Road.
Okay, so it's going to tell me directions on how to get there. If I click where it says start on Buckingham Street, it gives me turn-by-turn directions the whole way to Berlin.
Back up just a little bit to say that to get the go sign, you have to hit the bar right next to it that gives you the time. Is that correct?
I have to get back to there. Hold on. I'm going to end the route. So I
Or
click
is
the bar that gives you the time. That's correct.
it the go sign?
And then it gives you the go sign.
I was having the hardest time finding go.
Understood.
Bill, can I ask you something?
Absolutely.
You know, I get all the information, but I don't have the maps, neither on my iPad nor on my iPhone.
You're using the Apple Maps application, is that correct?
Yes, yes.
You
It
don't
says,
you don't have a map up here?
no. It says settings and maps.
No, you're in, I'm sorry, dear, you're in settings. Get out of
Yes.
settings and find the app in the app listing. Go to your home screen.
Oh, that's why.
When you've got a location, probably get to this in a minute, when you've got a location and you completed that and you want to change it or take it off, what do you do?
So let's go back to my baseball field. Well, BERLIN.
Not typing in.
Okay, so I'll get directions. And then I tap go. Now I'm
Head
on,
northwest on Buckingham Street, then turn right onto Northridge Road.
see the arrow to the left of the directions or to the right of the mileage? If you click that, you end the route. And it takes you back to here.
On an arrow. I have an X mark.
No. I tapped go.
Starting route to Berlin,
Once I tap
head
go,
northwest on Buckingham Street, then turn right onto Northridge Road.
once I hit the up arrow there, when it's telling me directions, I can end it. You can also end it any time by hitting the X, if the X has appeared.
Not seeing an up arrow at all.
Did you hit go?
No, hadn't.
Tap go, because that's how you get.
Starting route to Berlin,
That's
head
how,
northwest on Buckingham Street, then turn right onto Northridge Road.
okay. Now suppose I had typed in Ann's address. If I hit the arrow, I can say share ETA and send a message to Ann.
Got it.
Okay, so now she has when I'll get there. But that's when I get in Berlin.
Bill, on your map to the left, what is the squiggly symbol just underneath there? Under the Northridge with the arrow, the image that's below it, the upper right-hand corner, there's a squiggly blue thing. What is that?
Just
That one.
change the orientation.
Uh-huh, okay, thank you very much.
Whenever you hit one of these, just poke and see what it does.
Right, but then I'll be lost. I won't know where you are.
And here I have it, the little thing for the speaker to come on, right? So I could have it not talk to me, but everybody should, most everybody wants it to talk to them. Okay, so I'm going to stop this trip, end the route.
Bill, I do have another question about the time.
Uh-huh.
Now it says that a place that takes me between 10 and 15 minutes to get to is telling me that it will be 53 minutes. Now that's crazy.
Where'd you start?
At my house.
Are you sure?
Thought it was Berlin.
No. If you start up maps again, and it says search map, and it has a little dot for where you are.
When you say go back, I'm not getting back to where you are.
Where have you got an X or anything on your screen?
The location of where I.
Because what you want to do is get back to the base screen again by stopping whatever search you were on.
Okay, I stopped that how do I get how do I get my house again? Just put in the address?
No, you should not have to put in the address of your home. It
I
should
know,
have,
but it didn't take me back to my home.
you haven't completely gotten out of where you wanted to go.
I typed it in and I got back.
Okay, good idea.
I have a question. When I'm looking on the map, it says location services off, and then it tells me to go to security privacy to allow maps, and I don't know where. Security,
Okay, if we go to settings,
right? I'm there.
then you go to privacy.
Where is privacy?
Under right below battery, before the app store.
Oh, okay. Okay, wait a minute. Privacy, is that up on your screen somewhere?
Can you see it on mine?
I don't,
Are you on an iPad or an iPhone?
I'm on a phone.
Okay. And it says
Oh,
settings.
here it says privacy. Okay, all
There
right,
you go.
all right.
So you tap privacy, and then it says location services at the top.
Uh-huh,
You tap that
right.
and make sure it's on, first of all, it's green at the top.
Yes, it is.
Then you scroll down in an alphabetic order to maps.
Oh. Okay, so everything down here is relating to location services.
Right, these are, what these are different applications you may have
Uh-huh,
that would like to know where you are.
okay. So if I want everything on, I just sort of go to the right and put everything on?
Well, I wouldn't do anything more than while using.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, thank you.
But for example, I think I have Facebook on here. Yeah, Facebook would like to know where I am.
Okay,
I can see no reason for Facebook knowing where I am,
all right.
right?
Okay,
So
so
I
I just,
have
just-
that on. In fact, I prefer they didn't know where I am. Okay,
okay, all right. So I just tap on the arrow and then go one by one to what I want or don't want.
beautiful. You got it, Kathleen. Very
Thank
good.
you. I don't know why I couldn't find this. I kept was looking and looking and I thought, All
Okay,
right, thank you so much.
wonderful. So basically, the way you use this is you are at a particular location. And it says search map. Right? And you type in there, well, what's it going to do for me to go to Waltz? I wonder. WALTS. It's 4.4 miles, and I tap get directions. So now it's taking me from my house. It gives me three different routes. One's 13 minutes, one's 14, and one's 18. From my location. Now, if Anne, it wasn't from my location, it may have been from someplace else.
No, it was from my location.
And it was how many minutes?
I think it said 18.
No, that's from my
Yes,
location.
18 minutes. Bus scheduled at 11:06.
Oh, maybe it's saying, is there a car up here?
Yes,
There is?
yes, there's a car up there.
Okay, so I'm going to go from Anne's house to Walt's. So now I'm going from Anne's house to Walt's Fish, right? And mine gives me 4 minutes.
That's about right, maybe a little less.
I just drive faster than she does. But if I go up here and I say I'm walking, it's going to take me 23 minutes. And if I'm
Oh, then
taking
you must walk very slowly because it takes me 18.
and if I take a bike, it's 6 minutes.
What if you take a bus?
I don't know, probably can't get there from here. It says
If
walk.
I was Anne, I would go and see what kind of a route it's giving her.
Yeah,
Well, honestly, I do think it was a bus route because I went back and I clicked on the car instead of what I thought was a car, which was an extended car, which must be a bus.
right.
Uh-huh,
So I think it's 18 minutes on the bus and 4 minutes in the car.
there we go. Mystery
right.
solved.
But you see what you just did, Ann? You learned something else.
You betcha.
So I clicked on the little dot, which is my location. And now it's at my location, right? So that's where I'm starting from. And then I can put in anywhere I want to go. I can say I want to get lunch, gas station. And it shows me where the various gas stations are around me. And if I want to go to Costco's gas, I think I can just click there. And it says it's going to take me 8 minutes to get there. So I'll X out Costco gas station. We're getting the idea? At the very basics, click on the dot for your location and then say where you want to go. Oftentimes I go out on house calls and I'm in these, some of these developments are quite, excuse me, quite unique in terms of driving to them or through them. I'm sure if I went to Peter's house, it would be a left and a right and a left and a right, et cetera, to get to his home. And when I go to leave, of course, I don't remember how I got there. So I just say to Siri, I hit the microphone here and say, take me home. Siri, take me home, and get directions. Except it's taking me to recovery home care. But you get the idea. Take me to Bill Crow's house. Take me to Ann's house.
How does the transit work on all this? For instance, if you wanted to take a bus somewhere, or if you have buses in your city?
That could be the problem. If there are buses in the city, it would be able to do that. And it would give you that information. Bus schedule is at 11:56, 17 minutes to walk to where I have to go.
And what did you click on?
I clicked on the bus right here.
On the bus, okay. All right, I'll try that here. I don't know if it would work. It's so confusing. Thank you.
But look how it gave it to me. It says I walk up to Honore and Clark, get the bus.
Okay.
It even tells me when it's scheduled. Boy, that's pretty nice.
All right, I will try it next time I'm out.
Yeah. That's what you have to do. You try it and say, hey, this isn't bad, or what did I do wrong? Or how am I not using it correctly?
The latter two sound more familiar.
Hey, Siri, take me home.
Getting directions to home.
It says I'm 1 minute away.
Starting walking directions to 6234 Buckingham Street. The destination is on your left, 6234 Buckingham Street.
Okay. Hit the arrow. Turn off the route. I'm trying to demonstrate you can use Siri to do all this work too.
Call from 14132228282.
Just a minute, I gotta take that.
Call from 14132.
Ah, good. Okay. Here's a bunch of favorites, places I've gone to. Oh, this is where, this is one of my son's addresses, 1146 Blossom Hill. That's in California, right? If you go down through this list, boy, I didn't realize it. It has a bunch of places I drove to with my phone while I was in California. Amazing. So if you want to know something, here's what Apple knows about me and where I've driven recently. Any questions?
Bill, wait, did you drive your car to California, or is that some other means of transportation to get to those California?
No, I flew to California, but then I had my phone with me in their car.
Aha, okay.
So is the traffic as bad as they claim in California, San Jose?
Yes. Pretty bad.
If you were given directions on a, oh shoot, the little, I can't remember what it is that they call the, it's not a URL, but the square, the circle that you can click your camera on. Would that be under one of your classes on your camera and not on the maps? You know what I'm talking about? No.
Yes, I think I do. You're-
URL code.
I do have an app which will tell you where the Wi-Fi locations are. But it's not this one.
What's the name of that app?
Ooh, now I gotta see if I still have it. I haven't used it in a while. Let me see, travel.
Question while you're looking, Bill, can you put an app in two different locations? Like, for instance, maps in both under, say, maps and also under, say, travel?
I think so, but I'll try it.
On the previous screen, there was something that said Wi-Fi. Yeah.
I did, I had something there.
Yes, it just flashed real quick. I
I
didn't quite
missed,
see it. Yeah.
there I've got Apple Maps on that screen. Yes, you can put it in two different places.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Bill, this is Barbara. I have a question. When you just showed us, when you had those locations in California that you went to, that all you did was you just had your phone with you.
Right,
Is that because you had location services on?
yes.
You didn't have location services on, would it not pick up all those
Hello?
places?
It would not,
Hey, Bob, how are you?
it would not.
Okay,
Well, I'm not. I've had a
I'll go back for the, whoa.
We are about to get rain.
I think so. I don't see one that says Wi-Fi, unless it's that
I didn't see it this time either, but it flashed by real quickly.
one. I flashed it by real quick.
You were looking for something else. Not seeing it now.
That one's dying, no wait. Nope,
Okay.
I don't, oh, there's Hotwire.
Well, I could do a search on the App Store, right?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, everybody able to at least use the basics of maps?
One of the things I like is that when you put a person's information in it, in the directory in your phone, and the little map is there, you just click on that and it takes you right to that person's house.
About that, yes. If I go to contacts and I'll go to Ann's contact information again. There's Ann Ross. See the map down there? I tap it and it tells me it tells you how long it's going to take me to get there. And I can tap the car, give me directions. So another place where Apple combined your contact information with the Maps app. So if you put their address in your contact.
Before I learned how to put it on the map screen, that's what I used quite frequently.
Well, this is Maps. It automatically filled everything in.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Couple of other apps. You're driving that have to do with maps. You're driving down the road. We found this one. You're driving down the interstate and it's getting near lunchtime, dinner time, or you want to make, you're figuring out, is there going to be a hotel at the next exit? There's an app called iExit. You tap it. When you're on the interstate, you're on 75, you say, I want a gas station. And it tells you how far the gas stations are from where you currently are as you're on the interstate. If you were on the interstate, it's actually giving me the prices and everything for gas stations from where I am right now. But if I was on an interstate, it would tell me where they are at the next exit. Get the idea? Real cool app. I really liked it.
What was the app again?
iExit.
That's only on interstates?
No, it gave it, I didn't realize it, but it gave me, it's designed for interstate exits. So if I say I'm on 75 and going north, and here, look at this. Oh, all the different exits as I'm going north. And what's on them? And there we are at 301, and I want a gas station or a restaurant or a hotel there. I tap the bed. Hampton Inn and Suites. I tap the phone and I can call them.
And this is a separate app from the map apps, or is it a portion of it?
It's a separate map from the map app.
Thank you.
When you're traveling, a really nice app to use on maps, for maps, is called Waze, W-A-Z-E. And what it does that's really unique, it's crowdsourced. People are driving along and there's an accident, and somebody goes and says, there's an accident. They just tap their phone and say, there's an accident where I am. Or there's a car on the right or car on the left. There's a police officer, right? any other traffic issue. They just tap something on their phone and Waze records that and tells everybody else that's on Waze about what's going on. Now, I believe 2 or 3 people have to do it, so they're not getting weird kinds of stuff. But as you're driving down on the interstate, it says there's a car on the left, 1 mile ahead, and there it is. I was driving from Disney back here and was on Route 4, and Waze comes on and says, get off at next exit. I said, well, no, I haven't reached 75 yet. It said, get off at next exit. And I did, excuse me, and it took me through a bunch of country roads, and I actually came back onto 75 at Sun City. And apparently there was a huge accident at the intersection of 75 and Route 4, and cars were backed up for miles. And I had no issue at all. I was at the zoo in Tampa at 4 o'clock or 4:30 in the afternoon and wanting to get 175 to come south. And it took me through a bunch of suburban streets to avoid a lot of traffic. So Waze figures out the easiest or best way. It changes the route for you if there's an issue. And that's the big advantage of Waze.
Bill, this is Joan. Has anybody had that happen with them in Maps?
Maps will show you there's a problem, but they don't necessarily give you an alternate route that I know of.
Well, when I was in North Carolina in May,
Yeah.
I had checked my route ahead of time to the hotel where I was going to stay. It was about an hour away.
Right.
Then I used Maps in my phone to give the directions, and it took me a slightly different way, and it seemed to be to avoid traffic.
That could very well be.
I can't be sure, but I think it was rerouting me.
I know yesterday my wife and I were going out to dinner and I checked to see if I get on the interstate or not on Maps, right? To see anything was red. And yeah, don't get on the interstate, especially going north at 4:30 last night. But it didn't necessarily give me, I didn't ask for a route, let's put it that way. So I'm not sure how it would have taken me.
Okay, well, this was unfamiliar territory, so I can't be sure.
Yep, it very well could work that way, yes. The difference is Waze is crowdfunded. The other ones are sourced from state police and things like that, reports of.
So Waze would be more current, probably.
Probably, yes. And it will tell you where the police and officers are.
Thanks.
My experience with Waze is that I was in Arlington, Virginia, and my daughter was coming to pick me up.
Uh-huh. You still there?
It gave me the impression that there was nobody driving the car. I was getting a little concerned because it didn't say Carol will be there. It just said we'll be there at such a time. Give me 3 or 4 notifications like that.
Yep. The other one is Google Maps. And I'll bring it up on my iPad. And here's where somebody was talking about if I zero in on my street here where I am, and there's usually a little guy down here in the right-hand corner. And I don't see the little guy any longer.
He's on vacation.
There's street view.
What his job?
He didn't make it back from California.
Yeah. There's Street View on the left. And there's my house. So everybody's gonna say, how did you do that, right? And let me describe how I did it. Okay, I'm in Google Maps and it shows me where I am, right here. If I tap up here, I can choose various options, just like I did in Apple Maps, except they have Street View. So they have traffic and biking and air quality, wildfires, satellite view. But I clicked on Street View. Then I close it. And I think I just click here. And it shows me the Street View.
What are I see green trees, but then there's something sort of huge and black in back of you. What is that?
In back of me. Oh, back here?
Yes. Uh-huh.
That's a pond.
Oh, okay.
This is a pond as well.
Oh, wow. All right. Don't see them very often when I do Street View here. So I didn't recognize them.
Yeah. This is a preserve behind me. I never noticed it before, but this is almost a circle of larger trees. Interesting. And actually, I'm in this house. And my garage door's open. I better go out and shut it. Huh?
Better do it quickly.
It looks like that picture was taken 7 years ago.
7 years, right?
Can that be right?
Where does it say? Yeah, that's right. This is my lawn guy, still my lawn guy, but it was taken 7 years ago. And if you go to different areas, if I go to someplace else, let me zoom out here a little bit and go over to, keep bringing up Ann's house, but let me see if I can find Ann's house here.
It's where it says, yeah, it's, see where it says Trader Joe's? That's pretty close. And then go up from Trader Joe's to that little peninsula that comes out by the bridge.
I don't see Trader Joe's yet.
Oh, well, it's on your screen, but that's okay.
There's the Noodle House, Poe.
Go further up.
Further up.
Further up.
Starbucks.
See the Field Club, go a little bit west. There it is, right there.
Yeah.
You see it now? Is that crescent? No, north. North.
There it is.
North. Right there. You got it.
Right.
And that's the boat behind, the no longer boat behind my house.
Okay. And now if I go to Street View, assuming I can somehow. No, nobody's been by your place to take a picture.
That's why I say these are really old pictures.
Here in the city, they take it about every other year, so it's always.
Where was
That
this?
that is the city.
Yeah.
Of course, it's right across from the county.
Yeah, can't do street view there.
You want to look up my address and see how new it is?
Sure.
Okay, you want to do 1626 3rd Avenue, 3 RD Avenue,
1626.
3rd, 3 RD Avenue, New York, New York. There you go. Yep. You can,
Is that you?
I wonder she didn't recognize anything in Sarasota.
yes, actually, that's me. I'm next to the jewelry. It says jewelry, and then there's sort of a.
Yep, yep.
Yep, that's me.
All right.
I didn't. When is this? This is newer than I thought it was. When was this taken? Last time I looked, it wasn't. There was something blocking the entrance. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We didn't get a date on this one.
Let's see.
Oh.
There is a place you actually can get a date for this, and for you can go to other kinds of
Okay.
past maps as
Yeah.
well. And it's I'm not sure where. Maybe try directory and see what happens there. Oh no. Okay. All right.
Shopping services.
No, let's see. What was the other one? There's someplace you can click, as I said, and it gives you the whole. Try photos and see what happens.
You can
Doesn't
do a
show you.
360.
Yeah. Huh. Generally, somewhere there's a date on it. I'm just. Click the bottom on the 3rd Avenue. See what happens there.
Nope.
You actually saw when you went around that they had taken it on two or three different times because there was a bright sunlit day there somewhere interspersed with the gloomy, cloudy, whatever.
As I went around.
Yeah.
I believe that. Yeah.
These pictures that you're showing that have the names of the streets, like 3rd Avenue and Buckingham, Buchanan on it, and the 3rd Avenue, that's not on the. That's actually just on the screen identifying. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's not painted on the street. No.
Thank you.
Actually, here it is. It's
Is it?
Yeah, they paint things on the street. So if you look from certain angles, if you turn around to see the street itself, you will see 3rd Avenue painted on it.
But that's not what these are. These are superimposed.
Right. Yes, no. If you actually go back to the picture and look at the street, you will see.
That's what made me think of it. It was on the same one that was on in front of.
There you see, there's the 3rd Avenue.
No, that's superimposed.
No, it isn't.
That's written on the street?
Yes, yes.
Oh, right outside your house?
Yes. Exactly.
How about there?
They have 3rd Avenue, although on whatever street it is, on the main streets. This is a main up and down street or avenue, I should say. But they do have it is written on the street itself.
So you don't have to be looking for the street signs. That's pretty neat.
Sort of. A lot of places, the street sign, if you're on a bus or something like that, it's not easy and you're looking for a certain cross street, and they have it like every other, the signs are every other time, and it just.
You see what I mean? I think that's not written right there. See, that's superimposed.
I will actually go out and see if I can. That is superimposed, but turn around. Didn't it look like it was written on the street?
It did.
Not there. But,
That has the date thing on it now. That says 2 months ago.
Oh, is that right? There it does, yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay. How about that? I'll have to look again. The last time I had a huge I don't know, UPS truck or something blocking my doorway, so. This is good for snooping in some ways. If you know has somebody's address, you can see, this is really an elegant house, or ooh, this is
Yeah.
pretty downscale. So
I was again working with someone who was from Hungary,
wow.
and he said, I grew up in Hungary, and I brought where in Hungary, and I brought up his address and was able to show him his house.
I've done that in Colorado. It was a rural place that the road didn't even have a name at the time.
Yeah.
And I actually, they had it there, and I was astounded. And they had the house I grew up in. There was even in one of the trees a tree, whatever it is, a tree house that my father had built. And this was in 1950 something or other. Yeah, yeah. No, so it's one other Manhattan, 70,000 people per square mile.
Wow.
I know. Yeah, you get that. It tells you why it's can be extremely difficult and challenging to live here.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, 2 months ago, good. I can look and see what's happened. Actually, once I had they brought it out to Facebook, but once I had two of my neighbors sitting on a bench nearby, and I recognized them.
Oh, gee.
Which is pretty unusual with the number of people and the way things go. Wow, there they are.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm sorry I've gotten off the subject, but thank you for the tour.
No, thank God, thank you. Tip for the day: how to use your camera quickly. Right? You can come upon something and you want to take a picture, and you open up your phone and you have your lock screen. If you put your finger on the lock screen, let me get my pointer on that screen. And you put your finger here and you go that way, you get your camera and you can take a picture. So it's a real quick way to be able to get to your camera. Or you just tap the little icon there at the bottom to get your camera. Hey. I guess you have to sweep. And to get your flashlight, you tap the flashlight. It says sweep up to open. There we go.
When I tapped my screen, it took me to enter passcode. So what was I doing wrong?
You don't tap the screen. You sweep from left to right, from right to left, I mean.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Nothing's happening.
Pardon me, when you sweep from right to left, nothing happens?
Right, I'm on a picture.
Are you on your lock screen? In other words, right now I'm on my lock screen. It's still locked, right? And I've got it on mine. I have to sweep up to unlock. And I put my thumb.
Maybe that's what happened.
And I put my thumb or finger here. If you press and hold the camera at the bottom, press and hold it. The camera will show up. The same with the flashlight that's down there. If you press and hold the flashlight, you will get that. So you don't have to scramble to get your camera. You just go ahead and do that. do I have any questions from today?
I recall somebody saying something about pushing the whatever it is on the top on the right, and then pushing one of the sound things on the left, and that gets you to the camera. Is that?
Okay, I'm on my iPhone
Uh-huh.
and this is called the lock screen that I have to actually put a passcode in to get around.
Uh-huh.
If I press, see, is there a camera on yours, Kathleen?
Yes, but not, I don't think on the lock screen.
On this screen right here that I'm on. Don't worry about the picture.
Right. Somehow or another, I think I'm on the wrong screen. I'm on the one that has all my icons.
No, you have to turn off your phone and turn it back on again.
Oh, okay. Okay, now, all right, let's do this again.
And then you can press, don't unlock it.
Okay,
Just press the camera there at the bottom and hold it.
okay. Well, I don't have anything on the bottom. It just says 11:28, press home to unlock.
Okay, sweep from right to left on the screen. You should come up with the camera.
Right to left. Yes, yay, yay.
Oh,
Oh, it's always so wonderful when something works.
that's what I like about Apple. Most of the time, it works.
Wow.
Question, Bill,
Go ahead. Hi, William.
on the, this is on the Google Maps.
Yep.
For some reason, I got the wrong home location for home, and I've forgotten how to change it.
Oh. Good point.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see a way either, Bill. I'm hitting my icon there at the top.
I found some settings, but that isn't one of them. I went through all of the settings I could, and I also have the correct address in my account, but it only has the city. So it tells me I should go downtown, which is about 3 miles away.
There, I did it. I finally got there. I tapped my icon, my face. Do you have that?
Yes.
And then I tapped my account or your data on maps. And then I tapped my address there. And then I tapped home. So it's a little bit cumbersome, but I got it there.
Talked about your locked screen. What is a locked screen? And how do you get to it or to use it?
Okay.
That's something I don't recall you talking about.
Okay. When you first turn on your phone or your iPad, you get a screen. And I gotta unlock them. You'll get a screen that looks like the one on, don't worry about the picture there. Okay. It comes up and it wants you to log in. Now, I have fingerprint recognition on mine, on my iPad. So I never have to enter a code unless I just tap the screen with something other than. You don't even see it on yours. Oh, that's cool. When you first turn on your phone, don't you get a screen that you have to go by? Leah?
I get the home screen that has the apps that I have on showing on that screen, and the
No, you never have to put in a passcode.
yes,
The screen where you enter your passcode is called the lock screen.
but I only have to do that if I've had my phone off.
Correct.
But then okay,
You have to.
saying that I can take that instead of putting the code in, I can go to the cameras on the other amount of ways you've talked about.
Well, depending on your device, if you don't have a home button, it has facial recognition. And that has to be set up. So why don't I spend a little time on that? Ooh, lost you. We talking, Leah, we talking about a phone or an iPad?
I'm talking about my phone.
Okay. Two things. Tap settings and scroll down to how old's the phone? Do you have a home button on your phone?
I have a what?
A home button. Do you have a button on the bottom part of your phone?
Not that I can tell. I have speaker outlets
No, on the face.
on the face. No, I don't.
Okay, there's a line at the bottom.
Yes, there is.
Okay, so you have a newer phone that does not have. Okay, so if you go to settings, it says Face ID and passcode. If you have a home button like I do on my iPad, and I'll bring up my iPad on the screen as well here.
Go to settings, it just simply says settings with my name.
I know, I didn't get anything more than settings right now. So let me get there. On my iPad, where I do have a home button, I go to settings and it says Touch ID and passcode. And on my phone, it says Facial ID and passcode. Right here or right here. Everybody see that? Yes.
Yes.
Leah, you okay?
Yes.
So yours says Face ID and passcode. If you tap that, does it ask for a passcode?
Yes, it does.
Put that passcode in. And I'll do the same on my iPad.
Okay, it's in.
All right.
And my screen does not look exactly like yours, but it
Well, I hope
generally it does.
not. Pardon me?
I say my screen does not look exactly like yours because I don't have anything turned on.
Right. Well, I have iPhone unlock with your face.
Ah,
And the way you set that up,
it would never take my face when I tried to do it. Didn't like me.
I'm going to add face I'm going to add my face with glasses, right?
Okay.
I'm going to tap continue. And position closer. Okay, and then I move my head around
Yeah.
like that. And now it will recognize my face, so I don't even have to put in a code when I first turn on my phone.
Okay.
If you have one that has a button on it, it says fingers down there, fingerprint.
Right.
I'm going to add a fingerprint. And I softly place my thumb, finger, whatever, one of my fingers, on the home button.
It also would not take a fingerprint.
Okay. And I start tapping it, and I just lightly tap it, tap continue. And I lightly tap it, trying to fill in all the lines. And now it has that other fingerprint. So I have 5 different fingerprints in there that I can use.
Wow.
For my wife's iPad, I put my fingerprint in so that I can have access to it without putting in her passcode. So now you can either enter your passcode or a fingerprint.
Bill, do you have to keep track of which finger is which?
No, you just try.
Oh, the phone does that?
It figures it out.
Okay. What model of iPhone do you have to have the flashlight on the lock screen? Because mine doesn't have it. I have an older model phone.
What's your version of your phone?
7 Plus.
Yeah, maybe, I'm not sure. Anybody else have a 7 or 7 Plus out there that has a flashlight on it? On the
It has
home,
a flashlight, but not on the lock screen.
not on the long screen. Okay.
I don't even have.
It should be, what
I
version?
don't know, that it's much harder to find on my, on my phone. That's why I asked.
I understand. If you go to settings, general,
General,
and about,
up at the top.
settings, general, and then about, what version of the software does it say it has?
I believe I'm totally updated, but let me check.
I didn't understand you.
I believe I'm totally updated, but I will check. 15.6.1.
And you don't have the flashlight on the home screen. Huh,
Correct. On a lock screen.
on the lock screen. Just a minute. I want to get my wife has a similar phone.
No,
Where's your phone? You are correct. That version of the phone doesn't have it down there.
no,
Okay.
Do you have it, Peter?
Do I have a
I
what?
haven't been following.
I say, does anybody else have a 7 or an 8 iPhone?
I have an XR, which doesn't help. And it does not have a camera. I only get the camera by pulling down from the corner.
Gotcha.
no,
Not the camera, the
The flash,
flash.
The 7 doesn't have one either.
right.
Bill, it starts with the XR.
Thank you. All right, appreciate that.
Somebody else with an XR.
Okay, thank you. That's a minimum for my next phone.
Okay,
I like the camera idea though.
one of the things you might want to do let me,
Mm,
see this on my screen?
yes.
Don't worry about
Yes.
don't worry about the picture. That's my grandson. But see where it says if found, call 941-441-5159.
Yes.
Couple of hints here. If you lose your phone, does anybody know how to contact you?
Yes.
If they find it,
No.
easiest way is to tape a little piece of paper on the back of your phone with the number to call.
Oh.
And in some future class, I will tell you how to, there's an app where you can add text to a picture and then use that picture as your home, as your lock screen photo or wallpaper. But the easiest way, and this is just another tip for the day, is just take a little piece of tape paper, write your phone number on it, and tape it to the back of your phone. Not your phone number, the phone number they're supposed to call. Wouldn't help if you have the phone number of the phone they found. I actually did that in the morning.
What if you only have one phone?
And then you have them call a friend or something,
Or
Okay.
give your email.
or an email address, right? Or both. Okay. I think I did those, huh?
Hmm.
Why is it so easy for elephants to get a job? Come on, Leah.
They outweigh all the other candidates.
Because they'll work for peanuts.
Oh,
That's a good one.
never seen an elephant eat a peanut or even being offered a peanut or peanuts.
Haven't you ever been to a carnival or a
A circus?
circus?
All right. A man was just doing his job when his suit was torn. He died a few minutes later. Why? Oh,
His suit was torn with a knife that went through his heart.
he was an astronaut.
Oh,
Ooh.
goodness. That is a very modern joke.
What happened to the beans when they showed up late for work?
What happens when bees, they showed up late for work?
They had no honey. No.
No, not bees, beans.
Oh.
They got canned.
Oh, who did that one?
Barbara.
People make me, save me, change me, raise me. What am I?
A letter. No.
Honey.
Oh,
What's the difference between a jeweler and a jailer?
A few letters.
A jeweler sells watches while a jailer
Jailer
watches
steal.
sells. Oh,
oh,
that's bad.
yes, that is.
When my dad was 31, I was just 8 years old. Now his age is twice as old as my age. What is my current age? Ooh, that was a thought problem. I'm not going to stick you on that one. It's 23 years old.
Mm. It was also math, and some of us didn't do well at math.
Let me-
You know.
oh, Oh, this is bad. What do you call two Italian ants in love? Romance. Never mind.
You got it. Ants from Rome.
Yes.
Love.
Why is it so? These are all love jokes. So how come it's so easy to fall in love with a French chef? They know how to butter you up. Ah. Look, you should all get this one. What word in the dictionary is spelled incorrectly?
Incorrectly.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I am harder to catch. I am harder to catch the faster you run. What am I? Ooh.
COVID-19.
Your breath.
Liked her answer better.
I taste better than I smell. What am I?
My tongue.
Tongue, yes.
Your tongue. Did you say tongue?
I said tongue.
That's correct.
Oh.
Two 90-year-old guys, Bob and Frank, had been friends for all their lives. When it was clear that Bob was dying, Frank visited him every day. One day, Frank said, "Bob, we both love playing baseball, and we played all through our high school. Please do not do me a favor. When you get to heaven, somehow you must let me know if there's baseball in heaven." Bob looked up at Frank from his deathbed and said, "Frank, you've been my best friend for many years. If it's possible, I'll let you know." Shortly after that, Bob passed away. A few nights later, Frank was awakened by the sound from a sound sleep by a blinding flash of white light and a voice calling out, "Frank, Frank." "What is it?" asked Frank, sitting up suddenly. "Who is it?" "Bob, it's me, Bob." "You're not Bob. Bob just died. I'm telling you, I'm Bob," insisted the voice. "Bob, where are you?" "I'm in heaven," replied Bob. "I have some really good news and a little bad news." "Tell me the good news first," Frank said. "The good news," Bob said, "is there is baseball in heaven. Better yet, all of our old buddies who died before us are here too. Better than that, we're all young again. Better still, it's always springtime and it never rains or snows. And best of all, you can play baseball all you want and never get tired." "That's fantastic," Frank said. "It's beyond my wildest dreams. What's the bad news?" "Frank, you're pitching on Tuesday." Oh.
You're not going to heaven.
All right. Any questions, folks?
What's up for next week?
Well, next week, I think, let me check, make sure. Oh, what happened to my calendar? Next week, we start a series, 2 classes on Apple Watch.
Oh,
So if you have an Apple Watch, you can tune in. If you're thinking about getting an Apple Watch, tune in and see what the Apple Watch can do. And have
If
some
you
fun.
don't have one, you can just watch.
Is this on the,
Yeah.
is this on the version that's just out or?
It's in general. It's in general.
Okay,
Kathleen.
thank you.
Yeah. Okay, everyone.
Thank you. Enjoyed it.
Thank you,
Have a
Bill.
great week, everybody.
See you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Bill.
you.
Thank you, Bill.
Take care.